Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Chasing Green Arrows. We have the FPL edition and we're back. Me and TK, we're going to be giving you all the updates and details and planning tips for the coming game week. And as usual, I'm joined with my co-host, Mr. Tariq Reddy. How are you doing, brother?
Doing great. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So after last week, a lot of changes, coming up in the FPL landscapes. A few big injuries. What are your thoughts? Like, how did you feel after that last game week, and what are you thinking about going forward?
Uh, last game week was really unfortunate for me because
Mm-hmm.
I was fixing my team, and I you might not believe this, but I can swear to you that this was happening. I was putting in my team Stones and Antonio and
Yeah, I can believe it.
Salah and KDB and a bunch of others, and I was gonna do like a minus 20 because it's a double game week. It's worth it. And
Yeah.
then I looked at the time and it was like 1:59. There's literally 1 minute left, and I panicked. And I
Oof.
just confirmed whatever transfers I made, and the only guys I had was Salah and KDB, and I had the triple captain on Salah. I didn't want to have it. I wanted to take it
Oh
off.
shoot, that's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
So I'm here now on this podcast to help others, but I'm no longer like a serious player this year anymore. This is the first time in my life where I can't play properly. I've just been so busy with other matters. But I'm playing vicariously through my brother, Aboudi,
Okay,
who's doing so good this year.
he's killing it,
He's
man, in our league.
doing it like I don't want to boast or anything, but he asked me, should I get Cancelo or Stones? And I'm like, get Stones because the guy actually scores goals.
Yeah,
Cancelo might get assists, but I can feel Stones will score. And he scored
yeah.
two in that game. So ever since I didn't get him in my team, him and Antonio, I was just like, okay, I'm just I'm not gonna take this game seriously anymore. Not this year. Everything went wrong.
I know, like, and
But
for me also, same situation. I'm like, for the, I think for the since the day before the deadline, I was like thinking, okay, I'm gonna make this change. I'm gonna make this change. I was watching the FPL show, so that guy Gianni, he was like, I'm bringing Antonio. I'm gonna bring in like some city defenders. I'm like, yeah, 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 everything. Get to work, and I'm like, I have some time, I have 2 hours. I'll just do it like an hour before, just to be safe. Got into a meeting. I checked. I'm like, what? Why can't I transfer? It's like 3 p.m. I'm like,
uh, the
it's
game is
like
being
our local
updated.
deadline.
Yeah. Man,
Like,
we've just been busy with work. I guess we
yeah.
can come on the podcast and try to help other people get points instead of us.
That we're consultants. We become
Yeah,
consultants. Or you'll be the
let's.
consultant. I'll be your assistant. So what about those injuries, eh? So what are the big news coming out of last week going into the next game week?
Yeah, KDB is out via Twitch. I don't know if you heard about that, but
No?
he confirmed he was out for 4 to 6 weeks on Twitch.
Yeah.
He was playing Fortnite with some random guy.
Oh, shoot. No way.
No, no, no. The news came out officially, but he just confirmed it on
No, but
Twitch.
that's so cool, right? Like real life interaction with the fans.
Exactly. Yeah. The guy's like, oh, I heard the news. He's like, yeah, yeah. I'm getting old. I'm 30 next month.
Yeah.
It's normal. It's football. It
Yeah.
was just so
Wow.
surreal for him to talk to someone like that.
I know.
And Vardy seems like he's out. He's doing a surgery for his hernia,
Okay.
so he's gonna be out for a while. Those two guys, they're big players in the game. I have
Big
both of them.
hitters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Other than that,
what are you thinking then going into the next game week based on these changes, and
definitely.
what happened last week in the double game week, and then these big injuries? What's your plan next week?
So I see that Aston Villa, West Ham, and City are on form and have nice fixtures coming up. Those are the three teams I'm going to be targeting
Okay.
coming up in this podcast. And
Okay.
I have to remove Vardy and I have to remove KDB. And it seems I'm just going to be boring and just get Antonio and probably
Jones.
Grealish
Jones.
or something, or maybe even
Stones.
Foden. No, like I don't have the luxury to get Stones. I don't have enough transfers. I would want to
Okay.
get him because I
Okay.
have KDB and Vardy. I'd rather just take those two guys out and look
Yeah.
for getting Stones.
Okay.
But yeah, and I think Stones like I don't know if you'll get another goal again. It's like the defenders, they get their quota, their limit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, statistically, yeah, you're right.
but if you want, we can look into the next fixtures and talk about each team and like see who we can bring in.
Sure, let's do that. Two big red on your team.
Yes, those two guys.
Otherwise, Madison, you got some
Yeah.
nice points. I
Well,
didn't know you had him. That's great. That's a really nice one.
I got really nice points though.
Crazy. But
I don't think
that's
you got.
oh. Hey.
So going into this game week, Crystal Palace versus West Ham.
Okay.
Like I said, West Ham are on form.
Mm.
Cresswell's having a great season that no one really is hearing of. So like, I would actually get Cresswell instead of Stones first.
Because the
He's
price
playing
is pretty not that bad. It's not as expensive as Cancelo.
But he's playing for on form West Ham, left wing back, takes corners, takes
Yeah.
free kicks, and you'd want to have someone like him. And Antonio back like as he was last year, getting the goals.
Mm.
You want to have him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And those are the only two. Other than there's also Suchik, who I would consider getting if you needed someone cheap, because
Yep.
he's like the Fellaini that Moyes had at Everton. He's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much playing in mid and getting those goals on those corners by scoring headers.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a good team to want to have for the next coming game weeks. And Palace don't seem to be doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's for that match. For Newcastle Leeds, so Leeds got a good break, and they just played one game this week instead of the double game week that they should be playing.
Yeah.
They have their same assets. If you have them, you keep them, like Bamford, Dallas.
Rafinha, I think some people have him.
You keep him. You keep them because they have good games, and it's not like they're going anywhere. They're going to keep scoring, especially
Yeah.
against the Newcastle side that's not doing really well. Actually, I wanted to show you this.
Okay.
So this is. Can you see it?
Ooh, yeah, that's not good, bro. Newcastle are in poor set of form, man.
The X goals conceded is expected goals to be conceded, 8.7. So in the last 4 game weeks, they expected to concede 8.7 goals, which shows that they're really like not playing well.
Susceptible to get. Surprisingly, Leeds is not there, man. Considering their leaky defense.
Yeah, they actually tightened it up a bit recently. But if you can see, these are the teams that are not doing very well. Goals conceded, you know what that is.
Yep.
X goals conceded, shots conceded on target. The most teams that allow so many shots on target.
Yeah.
And big chances conceded, allow so many big chances. So Chelsea, you can see, have come up recently. They haven't been playing very well.
Right.
But these are the teams you kind of target.
To not have on your team.
That's very surprising. They've been playing pretty well and winning their games, and only narrowly lost to City.
Yeah,
that's actually quite surprising. Okay, so it's good to know. But
so in that case, someone who's been popular for Aston Villa this season has been Target. So do we keep him or bring him in, or no? You'd hold off on Target.
I would bring him in because they have good fixtures, and this is the last 4 game weeks. So I feel like they just turned their tide. This is when they're going to start doing well. So this is just the last 4 games.
Yeah.
But like just my opinion, I'll get him.
Cool.
But if you see here, these are the teams that are doing well. They're not conceding a lot. Like you want to get defenders from them. Like I said, West Ham. They're not conceding that many shots. City. Surprisingly, Everton.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Spurs. What is this? Big chances conceded. Palace, Spurs. But yeah, so don't take these stats like
for granted.
For granted, yeah. Like you have to kind of know what the team is going through. How they just changed their shift during the season. Like, are they going to be better? So, like for example, Villa, I feel like they're not going to be this bad anymore. They're
Yeah,
going through a good time right now, and the same
yeah.
with Everton. I feel like they were doing good, but they're going to go back to being mediocre slash average. But you
And
can
that's where
see,
that's where your consulting fees comes in, right, Tarek? Because this is the stuff that's not obvious. This you have to
yeah,
know.
exactly. So yeah, this is the defensive. I'll show you now the offensive one.
Okay.
So these are the teams that are doing well offensively. Goals scored,
United,
XG scored, shots on targets, and big chances. So you can see United, City, Arsenal, and
your
Spurs.
favorite team.
Yeah, my favorite team are up there, but still, I don't recommend them because I don't think it's going to continue. They're gonna. I don't even know who their next game is actually. If we just check, they're playing Southampton, who they just
Yeah.
lost to
Mm,
in the FA Cup.
yeah.
They might want to get revenge, but like the only guy I would like kind of put my money on, I mean not money on, but I would punt on is Aubameyang, and he's too expensive. So
For a punt, he's too expensive with his price.
exactly, and I don't really think Arsenal can continue like the last 3-4 games. They just lost in the
Yeah.
FA Cup, so they might be going back down now.
What about just speaking, going off the FA Cup point? Just right now, Tammy Abraham scored, I think, what, 3 goals, or he scored a few goals like for Chelsea. Like, do you think it's time to bring him in, or no? You think it's not worth it at the price?
Yeah. No, not because of him scoring. It's just he's rotated with Giroud a lot,
Okay, okay,
and Chelsea's not playing very well recently, and just he's a streaky player, so Lampard
okay,
keeps taking it on and off. It's not going to work. But they're playing a
okay.
Wolves guy. I wouldn't punt on them. I
And
wouldn't punt
then
on them.
and then going, I think in that same line of thinking, what about your Liverpool assets? Because they seem to be in a slump, and they don't seem to be, getting like from your stats that you're showing, right? It's like Liverpool is not there. It's
Surprisingly, Liverpool isn't here.
yeah,
They're not in the. This is the offensive stats, and for the they're if you think of look, they're only here for 0 goals scored. They scored
yes,
0 goals in the last 4 games.
that's
That's something.
insane. That's
That's
insane.
and before this, they went like I think like I don't know how many games, like maybe 100 games,
Yeah,
at least scoring 1 goal in that game.
there you go. There you go.
Games later, and they went 4 goals goalless, which is
Yeah.
something crazy. However, you can see that it's unlucky because
Mm,
their ex goal scored, they're not here, which is goals. So they're
yeah.
expected to score more.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys know what expected goals are, but just
Can
so
you
that I
explain
can.
it a bit?
So expected goals is in the name. So how many goals a team is expected to score based on stats. And what are those
Mm,
stats? Like
mm,
big chances, uh, shots on target, penalties, free kicks from close, like opportunities in a game where that should have been a goal and it
yeah.
wasn't. They you go one up. So then
Yeah.
imagine you have 3 penalties and you miss all three. Your
Hmm.
expected goals for that game is 3, but you have 0 goals scored. So like that's why the expected goals are high. It's not here. It's not showing because it's higher than that.
Yeah.
It's in the middle between these two, but
Right.
0 goals. Lucky. So what I'm trying to say is you keep your Liverpool assets as it's Liverpool. At the end of the day, they'll come back there. They're going out for revenge now from
Mm.
not being able to score. However, they're playing
Big
Spurs.
big game.
It could be a fifth game goalless for them, honestly. Let's see. Then they play
West
West
Ham.
Ham next. It's
Dude,
not
it's
easy.
getting harder.
Then Brighton.
Brighton, yeah.
So with Liverpool, like I would keep them
Mm,
because
mm,
you don't want to take off Salah then replace him later. He's so expensive. It's hard to replace expensive
yeah.
players like Salah. Because at the moment KDB is out injured, so why would you need to replace Salah for which big money guy? If you really want to put some, like if you want to really risk it, you probably get Aubameyang for Salah for like 2 game weeks and then bring him back. But I wouldn't do that.
That's
That's
a
just
very
a risk,
risky move.
a risk you can take, a calculated risk.
Yeah. So
Like if you're
Salah, so
feeling
you're basically saying, especially if you have Salah, keep him.
like yes and no. Like if you take him off for someone,
Yeah.
make sure you have money in the bank to get Salah back straight away because he will
Got it.
come back to goals.
Fair enough. We can take a look at that further when we go through my team because I think my team is like in the ICU. It needs a revamp. Maybe if maybe I need to play my wild card, so we can look at that because I do have Salah and I also have Robertson, so it'll be interesting what
My
your
team,
take is on my team.
your
But
team's in
yeah,
ICU. My team's in the morgue right now.
you still scored more than me last week, man.
Yeah, but
From the morgue.
I have so many changes I have to make. Like your team is probably ready for next week, although you didn't do well last week.
Maybe it's a bit more prepared, yeah. But
Yeah.
you tell me. We'll get to that.
So the next game is Southampton Arsenal.
Okay.
It's a hard one to call because Southampton just beat them in the FA Cup, but Arsenal are playing a second string team.
Mm.
I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal won this game, but if there's anyone to get from Arsenal, it's ESR, who's Emil Smith Rowe. I think that's his name,
Yeah,
Emil. Or, I don't know how you pronounce it, but that guy's for like 4.6, and he's playing as an attacking mid.
he's a good
Uh,
option. Yeah.
the good option until Odegaard comes, and because
I
Odegaard,
think Fabrizio Romano, our esteemed guest on the show last week, he has just broken the news that he's almost done to Arsenal on loan. So
so
yeah,
if we break it exclusive to Chasing Green Arrows,
unfortunately not this time. We were hoping for the next one, right?
next one. So
Next time. But yeah, I think Ostergaard is done. Yeah, he's probably coming.
if he comes, then Smith Rowe might lose his spot. But for now, he's so cheap, and if you want someone from Arsenal, you really want from someone from Arsenal, you can get this
Huh?
guy.
This one guy. Just get this one guy.
This one, 4.6. You're not losing much.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's
West
a really good in the budget. Yeah.
City is the team to really, really, really target.
Oh
They lost
yes.
KDB, but they're on form and they're one win away from being first place. They're very motivated, uh, and the guy to get, for in my opinion, is Foden.
Okay.
Um,
Is he starting?
sorry,
Is he starting?
he's definitely gonna start now, knowing KDB is out for 4 to 6 weeks. He has to
Okay.
start. If he doesn't start, then like it's not my fault. It's Pep's fault because he's just being stupid, honestly.
I think
So
Pep's
like
been like the worst enemy for FPL managers in the last few seasons.
definitely, this guy is like people might want to kill him after he leaves City. Uh,
Oh,
but Foden and their defenders, honestly, for now. Jesus
okay.
missing 2 months. Raheem Sterling is just not. I don't know. Maybe Raheem Sterling can pick up where KDB left off since
Okay.
he's needed now. But if you really want to
Okay, so
risk,
defenders. Let's say defenders, right? Let's do the
Foden,
obvious part, right?
if you want a risk though,
Uh-huh.
um, I mean, taking Salah off
Mm,
instead of Aubameyang, you can bring in Sterling since he's their main guy now since KDB is out.
yeah, true.
But I recommend Foden from City, and for their defenders, I would just stick with either Diaz or Stones. Those are the two that are guaranteed to start.
Not Cancelo.
No, forget Cancelo and Walker. They'll probably do well, but there's this odd game week where they'll just get rested. These two
Okay.
guys, Stones and Diaz, they're gonna play.
Okay.
The West Brom,
That's a
I don't.
that's a appetizing prospect for City holders, man. If they get the right combinations, the managers, they can get a lot of points from this on paper,
If you want the
theoretically.
combination, I recommend Foden, Stones, and Diaz.
Okay, there you go. Clear. There you go, guys. That's the three.
Burnley, Aston Villa. Like I said, Villa's back on form. They have some good games coming up.
Yeah.
Martinez, Target, Grealish, and even Watkins. I think Watkins
Holy.
can start scoring more now if you get him in. He's someone
Yeah.
I'd actually I would punt on more than any other player actually in Aston Villa.
Okay.
Chelsea Wolves. This is one of those games where I have no idea because they're both in bad form. So the
Yeah.
team that scores first probably will win and probably will
Mm.
win 1-0.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And yeah.
Yeah, say.
No, I was just gonna say even the next game, Fulham Brighton, these two games are like the dead rubbers of the week. It's like you're not really interested. You probably don't have many assets. I think I have Neto I'm gonna get rid of him. But like apart from that, it seems like a very blah match. But then some random guy could score through a hat trick, and it's like the 400 people who captain that guy will get crazy points this week.
Yeah, this is pretty much that's these two games are exactly what you just explained. So we can move on and let those 400 people have fun when it happens.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Everton, Leicester. Vardy's out. Everton might get another lucky win here with a Sigurdsson penalty. Like I really don't know. This is a hard one to call. I
is
wouldn't.
DCL back?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
So UCL is someone who, like, I feel was benefiting off of the form of James and Richarlison, but now
Yeah.
since those two guys are kind of slowing down, he's not getting
Mm-hmm.
the proper what's it called
Service.
service from
Yeah.
his team and from those
Yeah.
guys. So it's going to be one of those games. Could be a 1-1. But for Leicester, if you want to bring in someone, although a lot of people are recommending him since he's been doing so well, I feel
Yeah.
like he's going to slow down a bit. Is Madison?
He didn't slow down for you last week.
I'm just not. I just don't want people to get him. I want to have him for myself. Uh,
But
but if you
seriously,
look
you
at
think
Leicester,
he's not? You don't think he's a good bringing him now?
look, they have good fixtures coming up. It's
Yeah.
just without Vardy, I don't know how Leicester's going to do without Vardy. So it's just
Okay.
I'll let them play against Everton and then see. So if they do
Okay.
well, okay, bring him in. If not, just stay away. My opinion.
Fair enough. That's a good shout. United should
This,
have a good outing.
yeah, I think United will win this one. United are very like concentrated now because they have a chance to win the league. So they're not going to back down now. They're not going to take any breaks.
Yep.
Of course, the main guy, Bruno Fernandes, you must have him in your team. If you don't bring him in, he's just not going
Yep.
to stop returning.
Yep.
And a guy I would actually punt on is Cavani. I feel like he's won his starting 11, place in the starting 11 over Martial,
Yeah.
and the guy knows how to score goals. He's not like Martial and Rashford, where
Yeah.
they just like do nice tricks and every once in a while get like a hat trick. This guy just gets a goal a game. He'll be
He
there.
can.
He'll score ugly goals. He's what United, I think, needed, and I think he'll help them a lot. Starting now till the end of the season, he's going to start being a really big player. And if you want to punt on someone early, I think he's one of those guys people are not looking at.
Yeah, because I think recently he's I don't know if he started, but he's been definitely making appearance for United, and it's been very successful for them. Like he scored a
Very.
few goals, and he's holding up play at the front. He's a traditional number 9 up front, and it's working for United, right? So I think that's a
Exactly.
very interesting bet. I would call that the bet of the week for us. That's a very good shout.
Yeah, yeah. I would call that this shout the shout of the week, basically.
There you go. Yeah, sponsored by.
Sponsored by Fabrizio Romano.
Here we go. Hashtag.
If you guys didn't watch it, go on the YouTube channel right now and watch the second interview with Fabrizio Romano.
Yes, we will do a shameless plug. It's an awesome interview with our two co-hosts Zohar and Abrar, and it was a fantastic insight into what's happening right now, and also just some very good questions I felt. So yeah, just hashtag go watch it.
And the last game of the week is Spurs versus Liverpool. This is going to be the best game of the week. Both teams are going to want to win here. Mourinho versus Liverpool. It's going to be a good game because you're going to see Spurs, the counter-attacking side of Spurs, with Kane and Son. Kane playing center mid and Son playing on the wing. And
Kane is like he's doing everything, man. I'm surprised he doesn't like even defend off the corner. Also, like he's in the middle.
He's seriously doing everything. It's weird, but it's gonna be an interesting game because I really have no idea who's gonna win this one. This is a hard game week because there's a lot of those games where you just don't know what's gonna happen. Like this game, Everton versus Leicester,
Burnley, Aston Villa. To be honest, even as well, you don't know
because they're both on form. So it's a tough game week to like kind of master. So I would just go simple this game week. get City players, get United players, uh, and just get City and United players, and don't think of any
and
other
and
move.
and supplement them, I guess, with Villa and West Ham where you can for
Yeah,
the budget.
if needed, if you need to go for cheap guys, go for West Ham, go for Villa. So now
What do
let's
you
look at
think
your
about what do you think about before we see my team? What do you think
yeah.
about Harry Kane bringing him in if you don't have him? And so in Spurs, the easy bring in has always been not the bring in, but like whoever. It's like Kane and Son. That's it. No one else matters in Spurs, right? So if they're not in your team, do you bring them in this week? Do you take a risk? Because I have Son, and that'll lead into our discussion on my team. But what do you just think about Harry Kane? And I can just share my screen with you if you
You
just
have Son
stop sharing yours. Yeah, I have Son
since when?
since like 4 weeks.
But you never told me like she was even pregnant. So I had to say that.
This is why you're a legend, bro. I love you.
That was the lame joke of the week.
No,
So
man, that wasn't lame. I was like, who's pregnant? Oh. Do you see it?
yeah,
All right. So that's my team. What do you think now?
Vestergaard.
You're like, oh my god, I'm in the morgue. This guy got buried.
You're
He's in the ground.
silently hoping Vestergaard will turn into Odegaard somehow.
I keep forgetting to remove him, man. Even Daniel Calvert-Lewin, it's like so bad. It's so bad.
Okay, let's see it.
Okay.
Honestly, it's not bad. I would keep everyone. I would just remove. You really don't. You don't even have to do any transfers. You can just put Mitchell in for Vestergaard and play with that.
Bro, I
But
want to
I
get rid
still
of
hope City.
Vestergaard, of Calvert-Lewin, of McCarthy. I want to get Martinez. I want to get rid of Neto.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should waste a wild card on that. I think you should do it slowly.
Okay.
Maybe you can remove Neto and
Hmm.
Calvert Lewin and bring in Foden and even Cavani if you want to take that. If you want to do the shot of the week.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I wouldn't be sponsoring that show if I didn't do it myself. So maybe that's a good idea. Yeah. But how about do you think Kane, Son, anything there? Not even this week, but in the future, do you think
Yeah,
Kane and that Kane has a spot or no on my team?
click on Son's information thing. The eye.
Okay.
Go to his fixtures.
Ooh.
So,
Eh.
yeah. See, I wouldn't bring them in. They have some hard games.
So should I get rid of Son eventually too?
Yeah, but I would get rid of him. Actually, I wouldn't. If you think about it, they have good games. Liverpool home against a Liverpool team that's not on form. Brighton
Yeah.
away is easy. Chelsea against Chelsea, a weak Chelsea is easy. West Brom home is easy. City away is hard, and then they have easy games again. You can keep Son.
Okay.
So I wouldn't bring in Kane just yet.
And what do you
I
think
think
about the goalkeeping situation? Do you think Martinez is now way
no.
beyond McCarthy?
This is the thing with the goalkeeping situation. I'm gonna reiterate it for
Mm-hmm.
people to understand: is forget about goalkeeper situation. Forget about changing your keeper. You have a guy who plays for Southampton, which is a good team, and he'll eventually get you some good points.
Okay.
Don't worry about changing your keeper. Worry about more important positions.
Okay.
Uh, so you can even keep Calvert Lewin if you want. Just take out Neto. But if you
Yeah.
really want to, revamp your team and you can do Neto and Calvert Lewin out for Cavani and Foden. If that works, I don't know if that works. How much money do you have?
Uh, I have.
What
Where's
are your
my
transfers? Oh,
here?
you have enough money. You have 2 points.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Actually, you want to be more safe? Get in
Mm.
Antonio and Foden instead of Cavani.
Okay. Based on
Leave the
current
shot of
form.
the week. Leave the shot of the week for the 400 players that have it.
Imagine Cavani hat trick. It's like, oh man.
He'll get a hat trick. I'm telling you from now. Just don't get him. Bring in Antonio.
No, I have the budget. Definitely, I do.
If you really want to bring in Cavani, it's your choice. But I actually recommend Antonio.
How about keep Kufal? He's doing well. He's West Ham. He's a good.
Yeah,
At 4.6, he's good.
Keep him.
And Robertson?
Keep him.
Even Robertson?
Yeah, of course. Keep him. The guy is good, man. He'll get you an assist, an odd assist, even though he concedes. Your team is good. It's not as bad as you thought it was.
I just need like 2-3 changes, I guess, slowly. Westergaard, I'm going to get rid of him. Neto, Calvert-Lewin, and then
Westergaard on the bench, play Mitchell instead, and remove Neto and DCL and bring in Foden and
Antonio. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's actually less complicated than I thought it would be.
As hard as you think it is. Yeah.
That wraps it up, I think, right? For this week?
Yeah, just who would you captain this week?
I'll go with Fernandez, man. I think it's time to change up Salah. Just because of you're playing the numbers. Salah could do anything. He could come in with a hat-trick now against Tottenham. You never know. But I think Fernandez deserves a shot to be my captain this week.
I agree. I would captain Bruno Fernandes as well.
You have Bruno?
I don't.
You don't? Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to bring him somehow. Like, I don't know how I'm going to bring him, but I'm going to bring him.
But if you do bring him, if you don't bring him in, who would you captain from your team?
Let me see my team now that you said it.
That's an interesting shout. Like, what would you do in that situation?
My team.
Because you would captain KDB. You would captain KDB if you had him.
He's injured, though. KDB's injured. I would captain Bamford.
If you had him.
Really bad.
Bamford. Ooh,
yeah,
that's an interesting one.
Yeah, but he's my only good one, so that's why.
So what changes are you going to make?
I'm going to make, so KDB and Vardy are bad.
Yes.
Are injured, I mean.
Yeah.
I'm going to take off KDB and Vardy and bring in probably Antonio and
Foden also?
And Bruno.
Oh, and Bruno.
Ooh. Yeah, Antonio and Bruno. And Captain Bruno.
That's the easy shot, I think. I think that's pretty sensible.
Very simple. I just you have to go for the simple, boring transfers when needed.
Yep. Cool, bro. Thanks for hanging with us this week, and thank you guys for watching. And we'll catch you next game week. Some really interesting insights and tips there. Don't forget to change your team a few hours before. Don't let it come down to the last 15 minutes like us, or in my case, after the deadline. So that's one pro tip for the week. Get your changes in like maybe an hour or two, or set an alarm. Like you wake up in the morning with an alarm, set your team with an alarm. That's the easiest way. So thanks, TK. Appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for having me, man. Take care.